What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back. I know a few of y'all aside, I am me. Y'all know Miss Robinson is psychic. Okay, I know y'all like, damn, bitch, you keep coming with these Real Housewives of Potomac videos, but it ain't no reunion. When you gonna get to the reunion, sis? I got you. I'm here. Okay, I'm up in this thing, honey. This Real Housewives of Potomac show, the reunion, it was just everything. I've never seen really a reunion where all three parts were good. Oh my God, I love this show, you guys. And it's so funny, I didn't even like this show all like that. I liked them. It was, that lukewarm like, but I love Real Housewives of Potomac, honey. Let's, before we get to the reunion, let's talk really quickly about Monique Samuels. She has quit Real Housewives of Potomac. And she says her reasoning is because she saw part 3 of the reunion. Now, let me say this really quickly. Now, part 1, right, is the part where she dragged Jamal and Giselle, and she had a lot of satisfaction off of that, right? Everybody reported on it, all the bloggers, YouTubers, everybody was hand clapping her. I mean, we really got that, our life, I should say, off of that part 1. And Monique loved that. She loves praise and attention. And she loves when everybody is clapping for her. Go, girl, So part 1, she wanted to come back to the show. Okay, she was going to come back for season 6. Part 2 aired. She was going to come back. Now, all of a sudden in part 3, when you are being held to task, you are being held accountable for your actions by Andy, all of a sudden, you don't want to come back. Everything is so unfair and so disrespectful, and I'm being treated in a malicious way, and you got your ass on All About the Tea. And I will be covering that too. So y'all stay tuned for that. She did an interview with her people at All About the Tea where she got to talking about, I decided to put my family first. No, your family ain't got nothing to do with it, because if you cared anything about them kids, you would have never put your hands on that woman in the first place. Okay? You put your hands on that woman, and I'm going to tell y'all like this. I done told y'all so many times. She thought she was going to get praise and respect from those women. I'm a killer. Don't bring her around me no more. Remember, she was saying all of that. This bitch is very calculated, okay? She knew what she was doing when she did all of that. This is the same person that says she blacked out, and then they showed her, I don't know if you guys remember, but they showed her after she got into that fight with Candace, she recalled everything she did. She recalled having her head down on the table, punching that girl all in the head. She was saying everything verbatim. And then all of a sudden, when she had to meet up with the women some days later, I'm trying to figure out what happened, and a lie don't care who tell it. As the lie turns, honey, will the lie be this way, that way, the other way? Monique, sweetie, your slip is showing, and I see you for who you are. You are a narcissist. And the biggest hallmark sign, you guys, that you are dealing with a narcissist, this is this one sign that they have all in common. They lack empathy. And that is why it took her so long to take responsibility and accountability for her actions, because she lacks empathy. If it's a situation where she doesn't look good, then Miss Perfect Patty wants to quit. She wants to be out that door. She got her ass on All About the Tea, bragging about her marriage. Once again, throwing Giselle under the bus. She ain't got no man. She can't keep no man. She pretty, but whether Giselle has a man in her bed or not, that's none of your concern. That has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Yeah, Giselle may not have liked you, she may have hazed you. You know, we've called Giselle out for her behavior, but I think the biggest problem is with you, Monique. You are embarrassed that a lot of us see you for everything that you really are. You know, you really is this narcissist that does not take any responsibility and accountability for your actions. Because every time you do an interview, you would tell the same story the same way. What I noticed with Monique is she has one behavior on this reunion, right? Because Andy is there and, you know, she's trying to hurry up and, remember, I'm not built like that. And I'm not emotional about it. And I don't care. See, once that little act wasn't working, let me switch up. Her husband is the same way. That's why they ass is married. Okay. Cause he did that shit too. His slip was showing too. Now, one thing about it, Jamal Bryant, Chris, was not charging around at anybody. So I don't know why you said that. He was being aggressive, but he pretty much stood up, you know, kind of he stayed in his seat, but then he did have moments, you know, where he got up. We gonna get to it. But, so that was a bit exaggerated, but at the same time, I got what Jamal was talking about. I saw Chris Samuels in a new light. Okay. And then Chris Samuels, for them to mention the Bruce Jenner, comment that you made. I wish I could turn into Bruce Jenner. You mean Caitlyn Fu? Okay. I wish I could turn into Caitlyn Jenner and smack the shit out of all of y'all. I didn't see that video until they aired it, and you look absolutely disgusting. You could be as mad as you want to be about these women allegedly plotting on your family, but to say that was just too much. I think Andy tried to ask his ass a question. He getting all smart. I think he asked him about the little Michael Jordan series. He getting all smart and shit. I ain't seen it. What I care about is my family and my child. Him and his wife used their child Chase as a scapegoat to avoid accountability and responsibility for Monique's bad behavior. And they also did it with his bad behavior. Okay? Period. And Giselle, bitch, on this part 3, because I was a little worried about you, you shined, sis. We'll get to it. But Giselle shined. I don't give a damn what nobody said. Bitch was calm and just telling it like it is. That's what you do. And she's there by herself, Monique. Are you able to do that, Miss Perfect Patty? Miss, I'm so defined by my husband and my kids and my wealth. No, you got on Potomac wanting to be accepted for everything that you represent on the outside, but we saw your inside, and your inside doesn't look too good, sis. That's why you didn't come off as genuine to these women. Okay, that's why some of them, you guys, was not feeling her. And Candace, you learn a very powerful lesson in friendship. Okay, you learned that everybody is not your friend. You also learn to stop being so naive and trusting. And not everybody cares about you. I see another sign that I'm dealing with a narcissist, you guys, with Monique, is she discards people like it's nothing. She had already been done with Candace. She has no emotion towards Candace. She tried to act like she, was sorry. She wasn't sorry. That apology she gave Candace, it wasn't about shit. She was just doing it because Andy was there, pretty much. She don't give a damn about Candace. That's what Candace cared, because, Candace was crying. See, I told y'all, in every relationship, there's always one person that cares a little bit more. And it was the person that was really genuinely thinking that, we're friends, we're in this thing together. Candace knew Ashley before Monique and basically chose Monique over Ashley. That's how much loyalty she had with Monique. But we saw Monique move totally different towards Candace. So y'all pay attention to that. But let's get to it. So the episode pretty much starts out where they left off with Andy trying to get some type of sympathy, or empathy, I should say, from Monique. You know, he's looking at her like, bitch, don't you feel bad about what you did? And some of y'all should really be ashamed of yourselves because you keep trying to play the racism card at the wrong times with Andy. Well, he's just racist that Monique has all this money. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. Quit with that. I got some of y'all in my comments. She's so pretty. She ain't that damn pretty. Don't nobody care about that. Are you serious? It ain't about that. It's about you hurt another human being and you don't really give a fuck. You only care about how it makes you look. That is who and what that bitch is, okay? I don't hate Monique Samuels, but I really hope she gets some type of help. Okay, we see Candace run off backstage. She's crying in her feelings. Shout out to Chris Bassett, her husband. I love how he talks to her. He let her know you are in control of this situation. It's okay to feel bad, but do not allow that woman to control your emotions. You can do this. Every woman needs a man like Chris Bassett, giving his woman some sound and logical advice. I loved it. He got Candace smiling again, and, just let her know, hey, do your job and we go out to dinner and have a good time after this. Okay, do what you need to do. So that's eventually what she did. Candace is also crying, you guys, because she cannot believe her former friend is so empty on the inside. She's doing all this lying, and it's because Monique is trying to save face. But instead of trying to save face, Monique, you should just be facing the truth of who and what you represent. That's the biggest lesson you should take out of all of this. But Miss Perfect Patty, she told you who she was down to the lake house. She told y'all, I care about how things look and everything needs to look a certain way on the outside. And no, you need to dig deep within because you're lost. Okay? Andy next reads a question that pretty much pertained to, why the women didn't invite Monique out after the fight. And Robin answered it saying that Monique told them, not to invite her and go ahead, allow Candace to go. And that's true. But at the same time, y'all didn't want to be around her because of her behavior. So let's just call a spade, okay? So the next question that Andy asked Candace, an audience member or somebody on social media, anyways, I think it's Andy writing the damn questions, but the person basically asked, why did it take Candace so long to, press charges? Why did she all of a sudden do it? Did she do it out of spite? And Candace basically was saying that she was waiting on an apology from Monique. She didn't get one. Y'all remember Monique had stated she didn't have any empathy for her at that time. She was embarrassed by her behavior in front of the women, right? Which pertains to her image. But there was nothing inside for Candace. That's why she didn't apologize. Then Candace said that I went on to press charges because I saw that she was trying to paint this narrative that I'm the bad person. She's the good person. She was just defending herself. She was telling a lot of lies in her interviews and in the blogs. Monique, of course, is denying all of this under her breath. They actually showed something on Twitter. It says, at Mrs. Monique Samuels, word on the net is you laid the smackdown on at Candy Girl Candace because she threw a drink at you. Who told them that information? Monique did. She told a family member who basically told the blogs. I don't know why she won't just admit to that, but Monique has a problem, you guys, with admitting to things because she does not. It's like you're dealing with a child that does not want to look bad to others. Child. The person also goes on to say, girl, I hope you did. So you got those Monique stands, honey, that is celebrating her whooping Candace's ass. They think it, LOL, person thinks it's funny, can't stand that superficial brat. Wow. Hashtag Team Monique. How is she superficial? See, I told y'all that girl comes from money, okay? Her mother got money. I don't think Monique's mother got money. Monique didn't get no money until she got with Chris. Okay, so get your facts straight, honey. I was a bit irritated with Robin and Giselle. They began saying they wanted legal action towards Candace. It seemed like they said that on the show. Then we get to the reunion and something different. But anyways, Robin said, well, I never wanted her to go to jail. It's not up to you. And it didn't happen to you. Okay? And you got Giselle. Well, I didn't want her to go to jail either, but maybe she wear an ankle bracelet. That ain't no damn consequence. Okay? You take your ass to jail. You out here fighting in these streets. I mean, what do y'all think happens? If she would have called the police on that girl, that shit probably would have went a whole nother way. Okay, so I didn't even really want to hear their opinion on that because it didn't happen to you. I love that Candace addressed Monique about her behavior during that fight, and she began telling her, oh, you tried to make it look like because I pressed charges on you, I'm trying to get you to be taken away from your kids. You should have thought about your behavior, before the fight even pretty much went down. And I agree with Candace. You shouldn't have put your hands on that girl. Y'all keep trying to celebrate and promote putting your hands on people, but some of y'all got kids. Do you really want to be away from your damn kids because of some bitch you don't like or some bitch that's running off at the mouth? Like, how smart is that? Next, Andy gets on Monique for trying to countersue Candace, and he's like, why did you do that when you already had told your pastor? See, this girl can't keep up with her lies. Is it me, or did she have more humility, her and her damn husband, when they was in front of the damn pastor? I didn't see none of that on this part 3. That's why people, Monique, they're not buying your story that you trying to sell, because we keep getting a different version of you. Okay? But yeah, Monique goes on to say she basically pressed charges back on Candace and wanted to countersue her, because that's what she was told legally to do by her quack attorney. Shout out to Candace. She's stupid. Quack attorney. Monique says that Candace's attorney wanted money and basically told her that we're going to sue you for millions and Bravo is going to capture it. Who the hell cares? This is another deflection. This is what happens when you put your hands on people. You got to pay the piper. Okay? You got to pay to get out of these situations. All right? So it don't matter if Candace told her attorney that, the attorney told you that, it don't matter. There are consequences and repercussions for your actions. Andy begins asking Ashley, why did she write her statement for Monique? And Ashley basically said, well, considering what was hanging in the balance for Monique, I just wanted to be a good friend. And bitch, shut up. You don't like Candace. That's why you did it. She started telling us some damn story about Michael and how, people was trying to litigate him. And bitch, anytime Michael got to go to court, it's because he's touching somebody's ass and he's acting inappropriate. You are delusional, and you guys are friends for a reason. You and Monique, because y'all done both lost y'all damn minds. I'm like, Ashley, what the hell that got to do with anything? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Andy reminded her, Ashley, that she was in a fight. She was in a bathroom during the damn fight. So how did she have so much of an opinion on that? And, Ashley tried to say, well, I know how Candace is, and the ladies chimed in and was, letting her ass know your ass was not there. Giselle said none of us should have got in the middle of what happened with Monique and Candace legally. We should let that be between them. They said if Ashley wanted to help Monique out and say, she's a good mom, she's a good person, that would be different. And I agree with that. Ashley, you should have stayed your big 5-head ass out of it. Candace brought up the fact that at one point in time, Monique and Chris talked crap, and smack about the Darbys. And Ashley was like, well, I think Andy had asked her, well, do you believe that? And here go Ashley. Well, I'm not saying I didn't believe it. They was talking shit about you, okay? And they had every right to, because you was out here trying to convince everybody and their mama that Monique was an alcoholic, okay? But Ashley said, well, Monique has always had my back. No, she got some shit on you and you got some shit on her, okay? And I don't think they're really friends. I think they more or less have an alliance. But Ashley, who the hell you gonna have now, girl, now that Monique is gone? Nobody, because Karen go flop on your ass. You are about to be by yourself, girl. Now, really quickly, it's interesting that Ashley says when her and Monique were not friends, Monique didn't air her dirty laundry, and Monique says, oh, I don't roll like that. With Ashley, bitch. Okay, that's what Ashley. What about all the shit you done did to Candace? All right, you done fell out with other people, Gigi, Charisse. Hell, the list probably goes on and on. Monique begins crying with fake tears and says, I remember when I was a kid and my dad would point his finger in my face and, that was his way of checking me. Bitch, I've been pinched. I've been smacked upside the head. Child, ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. You put your motherfucking hands on that girl because you wanted to. Okay, you thought that was the way. Remember what your mammy said. Okay, your mammy told you to fight when you were a kid. Bring that story up, okay? We keep getting all these goddamn stories from her. Okay, I'm sick of it, and she begins trying to cry. Candace was looking at her damn ring. I would have been doing the same thing. Giselle was looking down. Ain't nobody buying your motherfucking story, because it's always some type of excuse for your behavior, sis. Don't nobody want to hear that. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I didn't feel sorry for her in that moment. I felt like it was another lie. It was another excuse. This bitch then gives Candace this fake ass apology. I'm sorry for, for what I did to you, and I'm sorry for the pain that you still going through. That ain't no apology. Candace once again was looking down, and I would have been looking down too. Shit. Girl, shut your ass up. It's, over a year later, you ain't sorry. You went on All About the Tea and said something very different. Girl, stop it, Candace responds by saying, I understand childhood trauma. My finger being in your face was a trigger for you. But, Candace goes on to say, it's been a year later and, you still have went on these platforms lying on me, saying I threw a drink in your face. You bragged on your song, Drag Queens. The song I told y'all is terrible. Monique gets into this moment where she tells us her therapist said to write Candace an apology. Why didn't you write the apology letter? Because you knew you wasn't sorry, okay? Nobody told you to write that damn song. You should have wrote that girl an apology. That's what you should have did. But since you felt no remorse and no empathy, you didn't do that. You figured you would be shady again, and thinking that us as the viewing public, we're not going to see you for who and what you are. You are a liar. Okay? You are a narcissist. Okay? You master in being manipulative, deceptive. You deflect and you distract. Okay? That is what you do. Now, while Candace is speaking, this bitch Monique says, oh my God, the narcissism. That's the pot calling the kettle black. You are the narcissist, okay? You are not sorry. None of your words, none of your behaviors align and match up. They don't. Like I tell you all the time, behavior reflects intentions. And if you would have had some sense of remorse, if you would have had some sense of integrity, Monique, all of those things would be in alignment and we would all believe you. We would understand that you are somebody that made a mistake and you shouldn't be crucified for that. But when you can't even take responsibility and accountability for your behavior, sis, it's hard for us to throw you an olive branch, okay? I love that Candace began reciting Monique's song to her. And here go Monique. Oh, I'm glad she's a fan. See, you are being so condescending. Like I told y'all, her behavior, it keeps shifting. And see, if you are a person with true integrity, you can sit there and deal with the accountability that these people are trying to get you to take. And you could deal with the criticism. And you will be able to be the same person all the way through. But you're not that bitch. You're not going to do that. Long story short, honey, she was bragging about beating Candace's ass, okay? And that is synonymous with the tweet that she put out, ask, believe, and receive, okay? Ask and you shall receive. I'm sorry, that's what it was, okay? You're not sorry. The song should be called Sorry, Not Sorry. Shit, that's what it should have been called. And Andy wasn't buying the song. Okay, he wasn't buying the title of the song. He's like, what part of that did you think that was going to be received well by Candace and the rest of us? It's an insult to all of our intelligence. So Andy reads a social media comment where the person says that Candace basically got dragged for running her mouth. And Candace took accountability and said, I am aware that I am a wordsmith. I'm good with my words. I could cuss and fuss with the best of them, but nothing I said or did warranted me getting attacked by my former friend / coworker, and I agree. I love that Candace brought up all 4 of the incidents that took place prior to the winery where Monique was bullying her. And honey, I hemmed and hollered when Candace said this was going to happen anyways. And it's very true. Because I told y'all, Monique was bullying Candace at that lake house, okay? She knew what she was doing. She had Candace on her turf. She kept starting shit with her. And you need to stay out of people's marriages. And when are we going to leave people's marriages out of it? And, everybody was like looking at her like, bitch, shut up. Robin said in her confessional, you just don't want nobody talking about your marriage. Okay? So, yeah, Monique, you were wrong. And Candace kept trying to walk away from you. I'm so glad she brought that up because it was a really good point. Robin was nodding her head because she saw it and Wendy saw it too. Okay? So, girl, Candace talked about, the incident at the winery before the fight and her whole tone. And she basically was saying, I had some wine up in me. I wasn't even upset like that. I was just calling her out for, the things that she had been doing. She had been fake sleep at the lake house. Y'all remember when she said bye to everybody, and then when it got to Candace, all of a sudden she was asleep. And, Monique has always denied that. She was just calling her out and just thinking, okay, I'm going to be funny about it. I'm twirling around. And that's how I took it. I really did. Candace looks Monique dead in the eye and says, I could see if I was, sleeping with your husband, trying to steal your money. Nothing I said or did to you ever warranted that behavior from you. Monique chimes in right back at her and says, you were doing snake stuff behind my back. Girl, no, Monique, no. You got anger issues. And you got misplaced anger, and you got all these other people coming at you, and you ain't loading up your gun for them. You ain't got no bullets for them, but you got it all for Candace? No, that's not right. Okay, so they get on Karen for lying in Portugal about inviting Monique to her little wig event. Like I said before, Karen does a lot of unnecessary lying. Just keep it 100 with these people. But Karen got out of her lie by saying, well, I didn't invite her to the wig event. I always had planned for her to come before the event. I'm like, bitch, semantics. You playing around with words. Girl, you wanted the girl there. You knew the other women didn't want to be around her. You wanted to please everybody. Just say what it is. She finally admitted to that. But Karen, next season, you need to move differently or ain't nobody gonna be fooling with you. Because all of that unnecessary lying that you do is, I don't know, you guys, it just would make you feel like you can't trust that person. Her and Candace's friendship is fractured. They had a moment where Candace said that Karen called her boss on her and was trying to get her fired, I guess because Candace and Karen had words. Candace told Karen to burn in hell, and y'all know at this point how Candace's mouth is. So why you running to the damn boss, Karen? Why you do that? Okay, can't you tell her to go to hell too and be done with it? Like, you see how the girl is. Like, damn, wasn't you her friend at one point, if at all, So Andy notices both of them getting super emotional. Candace is, of course, crying. Karen is upset and angry. Andy tells both of them, y'all need to work on this friendship because I do believe you guys love and care about each other. And I agree, there is some care there. But Karen, like I said, you need to move differently in the future. Stop doing all this lying. Learn some good comebacks. Don't be running to nobody's boss trying to get them fired. Well, I was worried about my safety. You see the girl, she don't fight like that. Candace is not a fighter. She runs that mouth. She admitted to it during the whole damn reunion. So I don't even know why you did that, Karen. And Candace, you cannot force Karen to have only your back. You can't do that, sis. Okay, so just be respectful. And Candace, if you don't trust Karen, just keep her at a distance. That's all you could do. Wendy's husband talks about how he still is not in talks with his family and they still don't know their daughter or really have a relationship with their sons. That was, really sad to still hear that. They talk to Candace's husband, Chris. Andy is so shady. He's like, how does it feel to be out of Dorothy's house? And Chris is like, I'm glad we have something of our own. Candace says, honey, they have Chris in all the rooms. I was like, you better get it in with white chocolate, girl. I like Chris, you guys. Really really good guy. Andy gets on Monique's husband for his act like he was getting fellatio from Monique on the show, and he just says it's no big deal. Monique is a good sport. You are sexist and you are misogynist, sir. Okay, and it's showing. I told y'all, when people have certain behaviors, it's gonna come out. Okay, and Wendy was like, honey, my husband know better than to do that. And her husband was like, yeah, I wouldn't have did that. Wendy's husband is so cute, you guys. Chris Samuels also lets everybody know he's been helping out Monique more, with the kids, cooking for them, spending time with them. I'm like, ain't that what your ass supposed to do? I'm just saying. Let's get to Chris Samuels apologizing to Giselle, Robin, and the rest of the girls, for the whole so-called plot that only, him and his wife believe, because Andy kept trying to tell them it wasn't really even on the show. Giselle made comments. Yes, Giselle made comments in her confessional, and in my opinion, she was wrong for that. But it was so funny. They also brought up Chris Samuels, and see, they should have showed that, but see, Monique, you were protected, okay, because they didn't even show that on the show. They didn't show when Giselle, y'all remember she had to meet Monique at her house to ride with her and Karen to the lake house. Y'all remember when Giselle showed up, Chris Samuels said to Giselle, because Monique was holding their baby Chase, and he was like, who does the baby look like, Giselle? Doesn't it look like it's mine? And she was looking at him all funny like, yeah, okay. And then they show another clip of Giselle talking to Robin, okay, about the same situation. And Giselle was just like, why is you explaining to me that that's your child? I know it's your child, but hell, people been talking about y'all for years. I guess this goes back to season 3. They've been saying that baby wasn't yours for a while. So that's hearsay. I ain't never said that, this, that, and the third. Child, it was a mess. Giselle gets to going back and forth with Chris Samuels. I don't want to hear your apology. You are threatening violence against women. I thought it was so funny when he got up and she called for her security, and the security act like he didn't even want to come towards Monique's husband. Giselle, what kind of shiesty security person you got helping you out, girl? Your security can't be scared, honey, okay? Honey, that Giselle was throwing all types of F-bombs around. Get the fuck out of here. And I was like, oh no, not first lady, not last lady, honey. It was funny. It was funny. So Chris Samuels, he keep trying to have his moment in court, honey, with Andy, and he's just like, well, I don't like that they kept talking about my child. Andy is like, honey, we done talked about this for a half hour. Ain't nobody admitting to nothing. Bravo didn't even show the footage to support your claims. I felt like all of that was a deflection. I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback. I don't give a damn. It's deflection so Monique can feel justified in her actions and her behavior. And the Samuels had no humility. They had it in front of the pastor, okay? But they didn't have none on this third part, Candace's husband spoke up and said to Chris, you keep saying somebody plotting on your child, but it was okay for Monique's blogger friend, I guess the one that passed away. He was dragging Chris Bassett's kids and, his old custody issues, that he has, which is inappropriate and disrespectful. Monique says to Chris Bassett, what does that have to do with us? The blogger is your friend. This is my problem with Monique. She does not own her shit. She does not own that she's cool with certain bloggers, certain YouTubers, DJ Richie Sky, all about the tea, Buffy Purcell. She has a whole community of people that be out here pushing these stupid ass narratives that she want everybody to believe. And what does that have to do with me? It was your friend. He got information from you. Girl, bye. Candace addresses Chris Samuels and speaks on her part of the whole so-called plot. And she says it wasn't a plot. It was a conversation that people was having about Monique having an affair with the trainer. Monique has participated time and time again, with providing salacious information on other cast members' boyfriends, i.e. Jamal Bryant, i.e. Sherman. Monique, you are one of those people that like to cry wolf, like you ain't been plotting on this damn show your damn self, so you got a lot of nerve. Okay, you can't sit up here and be like, yeah, but my child and my family and shit. You plotting on people's man that got kids, like they ain't gonna hear the shit and it don't affect them. The shit you said about Jamal Bryant affects his kids. They gonna get dragged. Do you see what I'm saying? So keep your beef and your smoke for Giselle, for just her. That way it don't affect all these other people. But child, it's just too much hypocrisy, you guys, from the Samuels, and I cannot. But yeah, even after, Candace said what she said, that wasn't good enough for old Chris Samuels. He get his big ass up out of his seat. Well, my wife is so strong and I didn't know she was so strong. He's crying and hugging her. I said, child, this is a fool. This is a mess. The Samuels, y'all should get into some soap opera acting, honey. I already got the soap opera for y'all, honey, as the lie turns, or should I say as the plot turns, honey, okay? Anyways, honey, Andy gets on Ashley for Michael's bad behavior. Y'all remember during Robin's proposal, Michael tried to make it seem like he had some information on Juan not proposing to Robin. Ashley basically said Michael was acting all suspicious like that because Michael felt because Juan and Robin had been living together for years, he would never commit to her or get married. Michael, shut your ass up. You just want a piece of wine, okay? And Ashley, stop defending your stupid ass husband. Andy asks Robin about her wedding, and she says she wants to have a small destination wedding. Robin says her taxes are handled. Then they talk about the thing with her hat line, embezzlement, honey, as Giselle calls it. And Robin says that her caps are successful. She gets a lot of orders on them. They have satin inside the caps. And she says that the hat that Karen was wearing, honey, is her slowest seller. And I'm like, you just want to be shady, honey, to Karen. Once again, stupid ass Monique says to Giselle, that's why you don't have a man. I told y'all once and I'll tell y'all again. She ain't shit without that man. Stop talking about your man and how, well, she ain't got no man behind her and she don't need him behind her. Okay, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback for that, and I don't give a damn. Stop defining yourself by if you got a man, if you got a husband, who are you without that damn man, Monique? Let's get into that. Chris Samuel storms off and says to the ladies, I played chess, not checkers, walks off. I didn't even understand all of that because Giselle and Monique, they had been going back and forth. Monique had been telling Giselle, stop arguing with my husband. It was just crazy. The Samuels just made a bigger ass out of themselves. I'm sorry. Andy asks Chris Bassett, Candace's husband, why did he push Michael? He didn't push him like that. He was trying to get his monkey ass out of his face. Chris says that Michael is always disrespecting women. Ashley chimes in, well, all these women have always disrespected my husband. Your husband is always doing something salacious and embarrassing to you, ma'am. Andy brings up Michael's behavior at Robin's engagement party, how Ashley and Michael were getting into it. And then after all of that, these two fools go on vacation with each other like nothing has happened. That is the basic story of their relationship. That's what they do. Ray and Karen plan on renewing their 25th year of being married to each other. Karen was really happy about that, so that's good. Both Chris Samuels and Chris Bassett are, sad that their wives have gotten into it with each other. They both love each other, and they both wish that their wives will work it out. And Chris Bassett says, or not, it's up to Candace, and I agree. Honey, that is it. The ladies pretty much slither, off the stage. I thought that was a great ending, you guys. So That's it for, this recap. Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.